Fox, what the hell have you done? Hi guys, it's me, Josh or Raptor, whatever you want to call. And, well, this is my review of Xmen Dark Phoenix. I hate you, Fox, for this. I really do. I saw it Wednesday night. It's taken me a whole day to comprehend it in my head. I was going to go in depth and just talk about each bit in sections, story, cons, minor pros, and then my overall thoughts, but I don't think I have the temperament or the patience. I physically cannot believe what I went and saw. Most times when it comes to movies and they get bad, people talk bad about them, like Rotten Tomatoes and other reviewers, I normally don't listen, and they normally turn out to be wrong. I can't believe how wrong on this occasion that I have been. The movie is awful. It's an absolute train wreck, and this is the final movie of the Fox X-Men franchise. This is how they end it? I'm blown away. The story, one of the biggest stories in the X-Men comics, and they rush it and ruin it. The constant continuity fuck-ups. The total disregard for good writing or good direction. Okay, first and foremost, it is the most rushed movie you will ever see. The pacing is horrible. Literally, the jump cuts between scenes, especially the big ones, are so violent, it borders on the sociopathic. Like, seriously. The writing is awful. Quicksilver, a fan favourite character from the last couple of movies. 2 lines is all he gets. 2 lines. One at the beginning and one at the end. I should have also said at the beginning of this, there will be spoilers. Like, if anyone cares, I will be talking about the ending. Charles Xavier does not feel like Charles Xavier. He does not feel like the portrayal that James McAvoy has so far done, and he does not feel like the Patrick Stewart Charles Xavier, which he's supposed to become, seeing as this movie is set in the 90s, 1992, so in 8 years' time he's supposed to be Patrick Stewart. No. The only character who is on par with his comic book persona is Cyclops. He's at the forefront, which is one of the only minor pros for me, because Cyclops is my favourite X-Men character. Spoilers, there is no Wolverine. Wolverine is not even mentioned in any way. And let's get on to the elephant. The actual story, Dark Phoenix and Jean Grey. And also the biggest spoiler in the story. So, it's at least done slightly better than Last Stand, whereas they actually get it right with her getting the power in space, but it's not the big storyline like the comics. It's actually very grounded. The villains are piss poor. They're random aliens that no one has ever talked about or mentioned. And oh, it's in my memory. It's just so bad. It's so bad. And the terrible thing is for me is I'm a DVD collector and I have the entire X-Men franchise, and as with my brain how it works, I'm going to have to buy this on DVD just to have the entire collection. Magneto, completely shit on. He does absolutely nothing. The first appearance he has is on some random island that he got after the events of Apocalypse from the government, apparently. Oh yeah, the government are somehow happy with mutants, and they enlist the help of the X-Men. They even have a phone. Like the president has a phone to call the X-Men directly. Hank McCoy. Okay, we'll get on to the spoiler. Mystique dies. She dies. To be fair, we all knew this was going to happen because Jennifer Lawrence, after doing X-Men Apocalypse, said she was done with the role. And anyone who picked up on it, the trailers did spoil her death. That scene where they're all in the street and Mystique talks alone to Jean, that is where she dies. And it was a fucking shit death. Literally, it's like, there, boom, dead, funeral. That's it. Literally. I think the whole thing of her death and the funeral lasts about 5 minutes. I am so disappointed in Fox for having this be the end to their X-Men franchise. Like, you can almost, while watching this, hear them say, oh no, Disney have got the rights now and Marvel have them, so we need to just get this rushed out. Which is fine, but not the rushing part. It's obviously it's fine that Marvel and Disney now have the rights to X-Men because they can be in the MCU. But end your franchise with some style and some care for the people who are fans of it and have been fans for 19 years. If I could have had my choice, it would have ended with Logan. That was the perfect ending. But no. And this is tainted. This is tainted the X-Men franchise because this is how it ends. And they have failed to do the Dark Phoenix saga twice now. First with Last Stand and now with Dark Phoenix. As I said, it borders on the sociopathic. It really does. I just hope that in 5 to 10 years' time, when Marvel actually finally get around to doing the X-Men in the MCU, they can take the Dark Phoenix saga and do it properly. Well, I don't have to hope. Marvel have never disappointed with the MCU, and I know they'll do the Fantastic Four and the X-Men justice, and their stories. But as for this film, if you are a fan of X-Men, and you've loved this franchise for all the years it's been going on, like I have, don't go and see this movie because it will taint your opinion of the films and the characters. I mean, they even ditched the suits. I'm assuming fans must have seen the poster and those horrible, horrible suits with the big yellow X's. Yeah, they ditched the awesome comic accurate suits they got at the end of Apocalypse to have them. And they're in, what, 2 scenes? 3 scenes? Because the end battle, they're all in, like, civilian clothes. It's unbelievable. And now we get on to the ending. The villains, as I said, completely pointless. They were there literally just so the film could have a villain outside of Jean. But then Jean kills the villains and doesn't act like a villain, and she then also dies, which is the biggest continuity fuck up because any fan will know that with Days of Future Past it reset the timeline, and in 2023 all the X-Men are alive, including Jean. So that means that sometime between 1992 and 2023 she comes back to life. And we're just supposed to skip over that. Fox, you're idiots. And we know that you're secretly planning to release New Mutants on a streaming service because, let's be honest, you're not going to release that into cinemas because you're going to get fuck all for it. I'm so angry. I am so angry at Fox for this because I've loved this X-Men. This has been going before the MCU. Back when superhero movies were either really good or really bad. Back when we got either Spider-Man or X-Men, or we got Daredevil and Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. But the X-Men films, even though there are a couple bad ones like Last Stand and X-Men Origins, most of them were consistently good. Days of Future Past is in my top 10 movies of all time. That's how much I love this franchise. And Fox just take a dump on it. Because Disney bought the rights, they've taken a shit on their franchises, and they've run off. And now we're going to have to wait probably, I'd say, another 10 years before we see the X-Men done again, because Marvel won't be putting them in the MCU anytime soon. So I suppose the only hope we have of seeing that world will be Deadpool 3. But even then, Deadpool plays fast and loose with being tied to it. I'm incredibly disappointed. Incredibly disappointed. This is the very first movie I had to do a review of this. Like, I know I've promised you guys movie reviews before about certain things like Batman vs Superman and Civil War and stuff like that, and I am sorry for not bringing them to you. And the closest thing I've done to a review before this was my review of the Ghostbusters trailer, which I got death threats for. But after seeing this, I had to do a review. I had to get my thoughts out there, because I saw this with my mate Wednesday night, and after seeing, we saw it about 9 o'clock at night, and we didn't get out until nearly past 11 o'clock, and we sat in the car for I think about a solid half an hour just bitching about it, like talking about it and getting all of our anger out, because we were sat there in the theatre literally like this, like what the fuck. There's probably more continuity errors that I missed, but the main big ones being the ending with Jean's death, and Charles Xavier's acting, like his portrayal, like the character. For all you Charles Xavier fans out there, he's nothing like Charles Xavier. He is not Charles Xavier like he was in Days of Future Past or Apocalypse, or even in the 2000s X-Men movies where he's Patrick Stewart. No, he doesn't act like Charles Xavier. Disappointed. Very disappointed. I'm just fucking grateful I didn't have to fucking pay for it. If I had to pay for that movie, I would have demanded my money back. I'm surprised my mate didn't. I thought he was going to at one point. That's how mad we were when we came out. Terrible, Fox, and you should be ashamed. Marvel is going to put you in the dirt. I guarantee you, when the X-Men start to come into the MCU, no one will remember this movie anyway. But the MCU's X-Men will bury this movie like most of the horrible, disgusting shit superhero movies. Green Lantern is better than this film. There, I said it. Green Lantern is better than this. X-Men Origins Wolverine is more enjoyable than this film. And I hate X-Men Origins Wolverine with a burning passion. Disappointed, Fox. Disappointed, angry, pissed off. You should be ashamed. You deserve that percentage on Rotten Tomatoes. You deserve 15% and 8% from fans. If I had to give it a ranking of 1 to 10, 1. 0.5 if I could. This movie is god awful. Do not go and see it. Go and see something else. Go and see Toy Story. Thank God Toy Story came out this month, so we have something good to go and see. Or, if you can't go and see if you've already seen Toy Story, go see Men in Black International. I saw that as well. It was a great movie. Disappointed, Fox. If I paid for it, I'd be coming to your offices and demanding my money back. That's how you end your X-Men franchise? Really?